Hello, this is my day 3 video. This is for Puma part 2, and obviously I'll start off with part A, the sports brands bit. So in the bottom of the last forum chat thing, task, whatever you want to call it, so I asked to have a little chat to my friends about the 3 brands, which were Nike, Adidas and Puma. So I've had a little talk to them, and they've said quite a lot, so I had to write it down. I hope you don't mind. I've got to look at a piece of paper while I'm doing this. But yeah, so right, we'll start off with Adidas. I think they are definitely the coolest. They sort of appeal to everyone. They make some really great clothing, you know, as I've already said already, the tracksuit bottoms I love, and just a lot of the other stuff they started making as well. Like, they started off as a bit of a sports brand, but now they're branching out and they're something a bit different. You know, they've moved on from that sports brand image, and they are like, I hate to use the word uber, but they are uber cool. That's how it is. You know, that Star Wars stuff they brought out as well, some of the limited edition stuff was absolutely amazing, and it's so nice. I've spent so much money buying that, like limited edition Star Wars, Adidas Star Wars t-shirts and like Star Wars jumpers. But all my friends have got the same feeling about it as well. They really like it, and one of my friends who's a little bit indie, he sort of likes the high tops, and another friend is just a big fan of the Adidas t-shirts, although he's not really that much of a sporty person. He just likes the way they look, and yeah, they've definitely moved on from your average sports brand. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not really a big fan of the high tops, but my friends really rate them, and I think they seem to have come into fashion quite a lot recently, and people seem to like them a lot more. So, yeah, I'd say Adidas is probably, out of the 3, if I had to rate it, Adidas is well up there, to be honest. Right, as for Nike, I chatted to them. I mean, it's not really my friend's cup of tea. I like it because I swear by the trainers they make, the Nike Air Maxes, and I think they're the coolest trainers going. They always will be, and nothing will ever to compare to them. Like some of the Adidas trainers, like the Forest Hills with the funky colours and that, they're well made, and they are good. But the Nike Air Maxes, I don't know, I just love them. I guess mine and my friends' feelings about Nike clothing is it's a bit more chavvy. Although saying that, they do make polo shirts that Tiger Woods wears, so I don't know, it's sort of two faces to it a little bit, I guess, because golf's a bit of a posh person sport, isn't it, really? And then the Air Maxes are a little bit chavvy, really, so I don't know, it's like I said, two faces. But yeah, general feeling is Nike, it's alright, they're a bit more of a sports chavvy brand than Adidas. They're not sort of as out there and as hip and cool, but yeah, it's still pretty good, and I do like it. I do love the trainers that they make. As for Puma, well, yeah, Puma, I don't know, I didn't even know it was still existing, to be honest, until I looked at this and you showed me the advert below, but we'll get to that in a minute. My friends were really the same. They were just like, I don't know, not something that they'd really go out their way to buy. I thought they'd gone the same way as Kappa, you know, it was in when you were like a kid, and now it's gone with the colourful tracksuits that Kappa made. But yeah, I don't know, I haven't really got a lot to say about that, so I'm sorry. But as for like your typical sort of Adidas person, I guess now with Adidas being sort of a funky, hip, original brand, there's someone that's cool and original and likes their stylish clothing, and yeah, what's in fashion, I'd definitely say Adidas is not your average sports brand. Nike, like I said, there's two faces to it. There's like the chavvy sort of Air Maxes, Nike hoodie, that sort of thing. And then there's like your golfer that wears his Nike polo shirts like Tiger Woods. So yeah, it's two faces. And Puma, like I said, I don't really know anyone that wears anything Puma. So yeah, I can't really say a lot about that. As I said, Adidas is definitely my favourite brand, and I do think that people my age would definitely agree with that. Sorry, this is hard work. I need to drink a cup of tea while I'm doing it. Yeah, I definitely think Adidas is the coolest, and people my age would without a doubt agree with that. Like they're out there, all the cool clothes they make and that sort of stuff. History and heritage. Ooh, I don't know. I've never really thought about it, but I guess Adidas and Nike are well-established brands. You know, they've been around for ages, and like the Adidas Stan Smith shoes, they've been around for whenever he was about, which is a long time ago. So I've seen something about it in FHM. But yeah, I guess it's quite important. You wouldn't just buy like a t-shirt with some random sports brand that's just come about. It's important. So what do I think of Puma? Like I said, I don't really think about Puma. Like I told you already, I didn't even know they exist, so I can't really answer that question. And as for the brand that's being cool, I don't really know it was around anymore. I will make an effort to have a look for their stuff, I promise, now that you've brought this up. But yeah, not really my cup of tea. If I had to pick comfort over style, what would you pick? Style all day long. It's that's sort of the same question as like, would you buy a pair of trainers to look good, or would you buy a pair of walking boots that provide ankle support, and then you go down the pub and you get rinsed by your mates for looking like a tool? The only people that do that are nerds. So yeah, we'll leave them to that. And as for style, they don't really know a lot about that either, do they? So, can I think of any brands that truly allow you to do both? I know I've been banging on about Adidas tracksuit bottoms, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I do think they look good, and for comfort and style, got it all rolled into one. Not everyone will agree with that. I'm sure there is plenty of people on this video blog that will tell me I look like a chavvy idiot, but yeah, that's how it is. Have I seen a Puma after hours advertising? Yeah, I have had a little look at it, not because I'd seen it before, but because I was told to. So, what do I think of the idea of approaching people who aren't into sport in a classic way? I don't know. It is a bit of a cool, quirky advert, and I sort of get the message it's trying to come across. It is quite funny and quirky and catchy. I think it portrays the everyday lifestyle of people my age as being very hectic. You know, we've got a lot of things to do. Although we don't play sport, we do as much activity as, say, a sportsman would. You know, going to a pub and playing pool and yeah, I sort of get where they're going with that. I think I've got that right, interpreted that right anyway. But yeah, that is cool. So I do like that. But does this approach appeal to me, advertising the classic people who are in a classic way? No, I don't think it does really, in terms of like the classic advertising way. Because when you're appealing to sporty people who want to wear sporty clothes, you appeal to them because they buy the brand because it's sports related. And like the way Adidas has started advertising with its different funky like urban things and the urban games and whatever that it was doing, I vaguely remember them adverts being on TV. That appeals to everyone. It's saying that look, we're different, we're something else, we're not just a sports brand, we'll do everything now. And I think people that are trying to go the same sort of way as Adidas should definitely follow their ideas. I know it's a bit cheeky, but they've hit the nail on the head. So if I was buying some running shoes, oh actually I don't know, I've missed the question out, sorry. So does the classic approach appeal to me? Oh yeah, I've answered that, sorry. If you were buying some new running shoes, which features sway you? Well, obviously if I was buying some running shoes, if I was into running, they'd have to have support, comfort, you know, let your feet breathe, that sort of stuff. All singing, all dancing. They'd also have to be branded, because I wouldn't go out and buy a pair of like rubbish trainers, you know. Like what comes with buying a big brand is you're not buying the name, not buying the trainers, you're buying the name that it comes with as well. And when you buy a big sport brand's name, you sort of expect quality. I know Nike aren't really there because their Air Maxes do tend to fall apart, and I do hate them for that, but it's not going to stop me buying them. So yeah, and football boots, if I was to buy a pair of football boots, they've got to look cool, and the player that wears them as well would influence me. You know, like, say the football boots that Messi's got at the moment, I'd definitely buy them because he's the greatest player of our generation. If they're good enough for him, then they're definitely good enough for me to have a kick around in a Sunday league. As I said, celebrity sports people like David Beckham with the Adidas Predators. I remember when I was at school and they first came out, everyone wanted them because David Beckham was on them and because they were Adidas, and that was it in a nutshell. They were just probably one of the biggest selling football boots ever. They were absolutely beautiful. As for vintage and reworked sports brands, I don't know, with vintage and reworked, like, I can't really think of any that are like vintage and reworked, to be honest. So I'm sorry, I can't really answer that question that well. Do you always go for the most recent trends? Yeah, I guess so, man. I do like to, you know, stay with it in things. Or I am loyal to a brand, as I said with Nike, even though their trainers fall apart after paying £95 for a pair, I will still buy them. And you know, I do sort of know they're made in a sweatshop somewhere, which is a bit bad, but yeah, I'm brand loyal. So yeah, okay, well that's it.